Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekend.
Woo!
It's Thursday. We're almost there.
Countdown is happening.
And welcome to another episode of A Blind Guy,
His Wife,
Their Life Live. Here we explore entertainment, career opportunities, and health and wellness as we shift the narrative of what it means to be normal, changing the focus from being disabled to being differently able. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11:15, we spend a half an hour or so with some fabulous people from our personal and professional networks as they share their stories and we change the narrative of normal.
Well, Corey, I'm working on my tech stuff in the background. We got the studio a little different today, guys. I've got the sound effects right here with me to help count us down to the weekend. So this is so cool to have you all here this morning. My setup is a little wonky, but welcome everybody that's here. You guys that have been here before, you might know that Corey can't see. That means I'll be reading the comments and all of those good things. And so go ahead, Corey.
And like I said, we definitely have a fantastic time every time we get together. And this broadcast is made possible by member support from viewers like you.
Yes, absolutely. You know, if you'd like to support this production, then all you have to do is buy us a coffee. That's what we call our exclusive
Member
exclusive member support. Yes. So scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen is buymeacoffee.com/blind guy his wife. And that means that if you go to that particular website, it will show you what you see on the screen right now. The Buy Me a Coffee site, you'll see Corey and I at the top. It tells you Corey's eyes don't work. He has a wife. They celebrate life. And then you can support this stream by buying 1 coffee, 3 coffees, 5 coffees. You can click on whatever you'd like. You can also type in your own number. So if I like to buy 25 coffees, I can write a nice note. It'll show how much I'm supporting for. And just so that you know, 100% of all proceeds go to Atunpan Edutainment. And of course, we're storytellers, Corey and I, the blind guy and his wife. So we have a story there for you when you support this stream or this production. So this is exciting.
And this particular
because they've been showing off, Corey. You know, people have been buying coffees. That's why I'm always like excited. So thank you guys for your support. If you're watching on the replay, you can still support in the same way.
And if you're on Facebook, then you can always jump over and join the live chat by coming to YouTube. But we invite you to be part of it no matter what platform you are. And this broadcast was made possible today by Dr. Linda Bailey Hayden.
Hey.
So we want to say a special thank you to you.
Well, who's a guest today, Corey? We got to introduce some folks. You know, we got to give a sneak peek and all of that.
Today we have a very special guest. She is a very talented young lady. She is a freelance illustrator. And she has worked for such publications as New York Times and the New Yorker magazine. Her work has been featured in lots of different platforms. She is none other than the very talented, the sensational,
I'm excited,
Steffi Walthall.
Let's bring her in so we can say hello to her today.
Hello.
Hello. So excited to have you here as an artist, as a creative force. I'm not going to tell all the information. I'm not going to let them know that you are a New York Times illustrator.
Well, we kind of already did that.
For the New Yorker, and that you are like an independent genius. Like this is phenomenal. So we'll find out more pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm super excited.
We are even more excited. So we'll see you soon, okay?
Bye.
All right.
And we always, as usual, have our special plant-based treat of the day with Chef LaQuita Marie.
Oh, you know what, Corey? Let me see if we have a plant-based treat all loaded up, because sometimes, guys, we give you a sneak peek of the plant-based treat. Taco Tuesday treats. So that's it. Taco Tuesday treats is what you're going to get today as your plant-based treat.
And LaQuita Marie, you'll be reading the comments. So let's jump into the comments to see what some of our viewing audience is saying this morning.
Okay, sure. You know, we got Philip Waldo Jr. he was first, Corey.
PWJ back in first place.
Yes, he says, good morning, all. Good morning to you. And look who is bringing some sunshine to Grand Rising fam.
Shine bright, shining bright.
Well, it's a little overcast. It was bright earlier.
Shine bright, shine almost bright.
You know what? You ain't have to do that like that. XDMC, you are going to love XDMC. You have to connect with our guest today. You will see why. He says, "One love, family. Looking forward to this show and supporting a fellow artist." She is amazing. You will just be astounded. Hey, Prince Ayoko, all the way from Ghana. Blessings and greetings to you.
Prince Ayoko is a wonderful person. He is going to build us a house free of charge in Ghana.
Guys, now if you go to the channel, Prince Ayoko, you will definitely see Ghana, his building projects, and all of those good things. He's a builder. He is a prince. You know, he is of a royal lineage, and he's a real prince. However, he also has skills and talents. So go to the channel because he's actually commenting on my skills and talents, Corey. He says, "Greetings, family. How are you doing? Wow. I love the sound of your xylophone. Our Wala brothers in the Upper West region of Northern Ghana uses this musical instrument."
Yes.
Thank you so much for noticing the excellence on this stage today. I just had to show off for you. I mean, you know, you came all the way from Ghana. We had to give you something, right?
Prince Ayoko is like one of the coolest brothers from the continent of Ghana. When he's talking, it's like, "Yes, I am Prince Ayoko, and I am building this building, and it is wonderful." It's just like you just like hooked from the time you start talking. So check out his YouTube channel.
Yes, he's an amazing builder, and step by step, you learn so much about the continent, about the wildlife, about the city life, about the cultural life. Wait a minute, Corey, what happens if you don't get your coffee? Philip Waldo Jr. wants to know.
If I don't get my coffee, then we see us on the broadcast looking like
broken down and tired.
So I have my coffee today. But
Mine is in the kitchen.
But again, like I said, this broadcast is member supported by viewers like you. So if you want to be part of our exclusive member support platform, go to buymeacoffee.com/blind guy his wife.
Yep, scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen. And Wendy, good morning. Wendy Knox Cotton says, "Looking forward to your special guest." We are too, Wendy. Miss Wendy, let me tell you, she's phenomenal. We're going to move forward because we can't keep saying she's phenomenal and not sharing it, right?
Right. So we're going to start.
Well, no, we can't stop because we got to sing hello all because there's a lot of exclamation marks. And Sonia with the Y is a vocalist.
Sonia.
So you can't just say it. You got to sing it. Hello.
No. Yeah, you stick to the bottle.
Okay.
Let Sonia. Well, let me sing.
Well, Deborah Goodrich says, "Hi, Steffi." I'm going to just cut you off because I don't want that smoke. Dylan, hey there, fellow storytellers.
Who's gonna tell it? If I tell her, don't tell it. If I tell her, don't tell it, then it might not get told.
He says, "Looking forward to today's guest. Gotta improve my African stick, man." You know what?
Don't choke me up like that.
That's what I was about to say. Drink something before you get choked up. Philip Waldo Jr. says, "Don't forget to hit the like button.
Tear it up, smash it.
And subscribe." Guys, we have surpassed our one of our goals of 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love for you to join the crew. Wendy Knox Cotton says, "I'm quite sure she's phenomenal. I've heard of her work." She got an inside scoop on the guest for today. Well, we are going to give you, for our 5-minute story time, a sneak peek because Deborah Goodrich is extremely excited and proud of Steffi. She says, "It's great watching you live your artistic gift." So she's talking directly to Steffi, Corey. She says, "The world is finally recognizing you are a great artist. We've known you since you were 5 or 6 years old." Wow. You know, everybody is so excited about this guest. I am going to share for our 5-minute story time. That's going to be our introduction for our guest because she's pretty phenomenal. And I don't know how else to introduce her other than with this 3-minute video that shows her work. And the nice thing is that she, or maybe we should give away the video. Oh, you know what? We'll do that one. Corey, this is the one that was in the New Yorker, that was on the thumbnail. I think we'll try for this one because this is the time lapse of her sketch of Ma Rainey. And remember, because of this, Viola Davis played Ma Rainey in the movie for Ma Rainey. So Viola Davis was Ma Rainey. Viola Davis's hairstylist contacted Steffi blew this thing up so that this particular video that you're going to see is going to introduce our guest, but this is also how Viola Davis was introduced to Steffi Walthall. So check this out and, just be amazed because she's a phenomenal artist and her work speaks for itself. So I know that her background is game development, but she kind of just ran with everything else. So let's get it up here and going. So Corey, she uses her iPad to sketch, and as you see her Instagram, well, you can't see it, Corey, but let me tell you, people are like, wow, I love this so much, so creative. This is amazing to see. And look, people are tagging Viola Davis, this is just an awesome thing. Stompin' the Blues illustration time lapse is what this is, Corey. So she's showing the process and all of those good things. So Corey, give us an introduction of her. I just gave a visual introduction, but we got to get her on the screen.
Today's special guest is a phenomenal woman, phenomenal woman, that is she. Today's special guest is an illustrator, but she's been featured in the New York Times. She's been featured in the New Yorker magazine. Her work has been featured in all sorts of genres, and she has covered from celebrities to illustrations for books. She is none other than today's special guest, Steffi Walthall.
Hello. I could not do justice to you today. I know I was trying to sing. XDMC told me to leave the singing to him and Corey because
there you go, XDMC.
Yeah, he said it was sounded a little phony, Braxton and Anita Faker, Corey. So, they're doing wrong here. But Stephanie Johnson is extremely excited. Dr. Stephanie is in the house.
Dr. Johnson in the house.
Yes, Faith Walthall is here saying good morning, everyone. Very excited for this guest. So everyone is welcoming you. Anita James is so proud of you. Steffi, let me know how, I don't even know where to start. Corey, do you know where to start?
Yeah, you started out with game development, but your career took a shift into illustration. And can you explain tell the audience how that worked?
So I graduated with a bachelor's of fine arts in game design in 2017, and I moved back home. I was applying to jobs everywhere. I wasn't hearing anything back, but I was still drawing and posting stuff on Instagram and all this other stuff. And in 2019, I got contacted by an agent from this agency called Bright, and she was just like, "Have you ever considered being under representation for illustration, as a freelancer?" And I was just like, "No, I have not, but I am interested." And so after some back and forth and everything, we had
this was all in 2019?
Mm-hmm. So I've only been freelancing full time, actually, only in 2020.
Wow.
Very exciting.
This is exciting, and everybody is loving you already. Like Philip Waldo Jr. is saying, welcome, Steffi. Chime Bright is saying, welcome, Steffi. XDMC, a fellow artist, I salute you. My mama is saying, good morning, everyone. Mama C.
My mama-in-law.
Yeah, we've got people from Elizabeth City saying, great morning. Hello, Steffi from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And so you've only been freelancing since this agent contacted you in 2019. So you have an agent now.
No,
Hold on a second. She says she does have an agent, but before, is there a difference before and now, not having an agent and having, as far as you producing work or getting contracts and all of those things, because you already got fans. Coco4934 says, I'm such a fan of Steffi's work. Was she a fan before you had a manager, or, have you just always been this amazing?
I don't know. I've always been amazing, but I definitely have been working hard.
So I'm going to share some of these pictures that you say that you created most of these book covers and things in 2019, or was it 2020?
2020 during the
Got
weird
it. So,
of our lives. Yeah.
right. All right. So we got some slow stuff happening here.
So while we're waiting for that to load, can you tell other illustrators that are looking to maybe get into freelance work and to expand their horizons with the amount of work they're getting, how would you recommend them to get an agent, and what's the advantages of having an agent?
I personally am of the opinion that agents are great. I really like my agent. I really like the agency. I have they're really helpful in terms of upgrading your worth, I guess, because they can do negotiations for you. They'll chase down payments for you. They'll step in if they see anything shady happening. And that's really helpful, especially if you don't know how to advocate for yourself as an illustrator, because a lot of people are going into this blind and it's their job to know if something is, questionable, or if it's not, or if everything's fine. And they also up your worth again as an artist. So sometimes when you have an agent, you'll be able to, get more work at a higher price point if you were independent. And sometimes it really does depend. I think that people should try, if they get approached by an agency, they should, obviously do their research, see if they like the terms that the agents are setting up for them in terms of what their agreement's going to be. Ask other people what their experience has been, obviously. Decision for themselves, because sometimes agents don't work for people. Yeah, I've been really fortunate and it's just worked for me.
So let me ask you this, because you say that the agent has worked for you. I have the picture of Ma Rainey, the one where we were showing the time lapse sketch. I have that one pulled up. It looks like it's loaded up. Let me know if you can see it. Okay.
I can.
Right. So this was a sketch of the rendition of Viola Davis as Ma Rainey, correct?
Yes.
And so at this time, did you have an agent when you did this work?
Mm-hmm. So I've had an agent since 2019, but I was full-time freelance in 2020. So in 2019, I was freelancing part-time while also working part-time. And in 2020, I switched completely to being full-time freelance, which is really exciting. And so they contacted me out of nowhere. The art director for The New Yorker, or one of them, contacted me about 2 weeks after I had finished a different illustration for them, a smaller, significantly smaller illustration. And they're just hey, do you want to do a full page? And I was just absolutely. What? And they're just it's on Ma Rainey. I was just yes.
Right. Well, some of these people in the chat, they believe themselves to be artists. Like Philip Waldo Jr., he says his stick figure game is fire. So if you ever need a backup artist, call him in.
Philip designed the characters for the Atari 2600 games. Those are his drawings.
Yes. Now, speaking of artists, I am playing the balafon here, or like Prince Ioko in Ghana said, the xylophone. And so Philip Waldo Jr., Prince Ioko was explaining to him that the male bala is called the Waldo. And so let me find it so that I can show you, Corey. So, I'm here, I'm a musician, and we're learning from our, a male walla man. A male walla man is called Waldo.
Walla man.
Yes, okay. Yes. I knew I was going to get that wrong.
Maybe that's where your descendants come from.
Hey, perhaps, yeah, because that is my maiden name. And then we also have folks in the chat just saying hello to you, because I know that Wendy Knox Cotton says that's the piece I've seen. The Ma Rainey illustration is amazing. Gwen Sanders is saying, yes, XDMC, awesome work. Are you using Procreate or the iPad? Because that's what he uses. So, people want to know what's going on, what are you using, what tools? And of course, EMB is saying, hi, Steffi, I'm a friend of your grandmother, Dr. Stephanie Johnson. I've seen your work and you are truly Gifted. So what are you using right now to create? Look at Dr. Hayden is in there too, Corey. Viola Davis, December 19, 2020 said, love, love, love this Ma Rainey artwork by Steffi Walthall. So Viola Davis tagged you and everything in this artwork. Are you using Procreate? Are you using Photoshop? What are you using? And I'll share some of your other pictures.
I've shifted completely to Procreate now. And I only use Photoshop if I need to like send something that needs to be printed. I check to make sure that like CMYK, the ink that we use for printers, is like okay, because sometimes like colors can get a little bit funky. But yeah, Procreate is a really easy and accessible tool, especially if you have an iPad, and like the iPad Pencil, it's literally only $10 and you only have to pay for it once, which I love that. For me, I love that for all of us actually, because it's just because Photoshop is not as accessible.
So I know that like with these pictures here from this book, this is a storybook. These coloring pages, is this what you use Procreate for?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about for, I know you have this particular sketch of Kelly Rowland was featured in Lifetime. And so did you use Procreate for this one also? I know Kelly Rowland tagged this particular sketch as well.
I did use Procreate. Actually, all of these, I think, except for one of them.
Okay.
I did in Procreate.
Right.
Too. I like went back and edited some things. But yeah.
Now this picture, you have some of these books on you, right? Is this the one that you have with you?
So I have a few. I have more than a few. I have Finish the Fight. My subject, I can't see. Which came out in August of 2020. It was a book that was supposed to be celebrating the centennial anniversary of the women's suffrage movement and women getting the right to vote, but also highlighting, women of color that like aren't normally talked about when you have the conversation about women's suffrage. And so like a lot of these women actually didn't even end up getting to vote when white women were able to vote. And it wasn't until like years later that like Indigenous women and Asian American women and like Black women like even got the right to vote. And so it was me and about 12 other illustrators that worked on this, which is super exciting. And then like basically all the illustrators were women of color, and then the entire design and editorial team, because it was co-written by Veronica Chambers and staff of the New York Times. Basically,
so Can I share while you're telling us about this? Can I? I'm going to share the time lapse because the time lapse is created with Procreate. And I think I'm playing it in the background by accident right now, but that book that you're holding up right now, I'm sure everyone can already hear the music. It's showing how you created that cover. So this is on your Instagram. Any of us can follow you. It's scrolling right at the bottom of the screen. So that way we can follow your work. I know a lot of people want to know, now that you are working so much, can we still get you in for gigs? Can we get you in for jobs? Can you hop onto this project? And you're busy.
I am busy. I have about 13 projects happening right now. So currently not super available for taking on new work until like much later in the year. And normally I don't take on any work that doesn't come through my agent because I'm exclusive to my agency.
Right. So, now also, if we want to know, like, how do we obtain your services? What do we do? How do we get involved? All we have to do is go to your website, because you do have a frequently asked frequently asked questions section, so that all of these questions that I'm asking and that the audience might have, they can go to your website, which is steffiewalthallart.com. Can you see that on the screen okay?
Yes. Sorry.
And then I'll go to frequently asked questions. It pops up, and then people will know, can I buy your books? Can you work on my stuff? Can you do graphic design, logo design? Do you sell prints?
Now, here's a frequently asked question that a lot of freelancers or aspiring freelancers, illustrators might ask. What is the pay like when you get a job? Like, what's the pay range for different jobs? I know it varies by the company, the size of the company, the size of the actual illustration. What could they look to as far as payment?
Yeah, because these folks can't believe you. Like Philip Waldo Jr. is saying, Steffi is no joke. We've got Coco4934 saying, yes. Philip Waldo Jr., that's really cool. Anita James, beautiful work. David Hunt says, this is awesome. You know, so everyone.
What's up, shots?
So tell us how we can better figure out a price, because Jahari loves it. You know, good morning, kings and queens. I love your work, Steffi. So let us know how we can price it. Like if we have artists out here, go ahead.
So fortunately, there's a lot of good resources online, because artists have, you know, a lot of freelancers have realized, like, hey, like, it's not cool that, like, we're constantly not knowing, you know, how much work, like, it's worth, I guess. And sometimes it can vary and all this other stuff. So there's a bunch of resources online, obviously. And obviously, like, you can just, like, ask people. I personally am not of the opinion that things should be hush hush. I think that the more people that know everything in terms of, like, how pricing works, how, like, certain, like, systems work, like, the better, honestly, because it's important to know the worth of your work. So one example is the Pricing and Ethical Guidelines Handbook by the Graphic Artists Guild. It's about $35, and it's thick. Knock somebody out with this thing easily.
Right. And this book is updated every year so that people can know how to get fair prices for their work.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually found out about this book from a professor at Elizabeth City, who had a bunch, because he also used to be a freelancer, and he was someone that I talked to when I actually got contacted about working with Bray.
Right.
And fortunately, with these books, the pricing doesn't really change in terms of, like, in the industry, I guess.
And it's on Amazon, so we can get the book on Amazon. It's updated.
Exactly.
The pricing schedule doesn't change much, but this is cool. So this way, for artists trying to figure out how to find their way, this is where they would go to get the book. And like you said, you have people in the industry telling you where to get this information. Mm-hmm. I do have another question for you, because XDMC, he says that Procreate is super artist friendly. They have the best pencils and brushes. And he says that your colors are off the chain. He loves this, sister. Now, we do have a question about that. Wendy Knox Cotton would like to know if you'd recommend Procreate for K through 12 students to use in their art classes, because Wendy's an art educator who trains teachers and looking for digital tools for art teachers with their students. And so, you know, XDMC has definitely used that book for over 20 years. So I guess, what's your recommendation about Procreate
and K through 12?
Yeah.
I definitely recommend Procreate. I think that the only downside to Procreate literally is that, like, you have to have an iPad or, like, an Apple product to use it, because you can use it on an iPhone.
Right.
It was more, like, widespread, but I do know that it's, like, a smaller team working on it. But there are, fortunately, like, other, like, free apps like GIMP and or, like, things that aren't like a yearly or monthly subscription. But absolutely, I would recommend Procreate. There's a little bit of a learning curve between Procreate and, like, Photoshop, because they don't have all of their, like, you know, tools or whatever. Like their help section is, like, on their website as opposed to being in the app, which a lot of people, like, comment on because it's
right.
this thing because like until you realize that you can turn certain things off, you'll suddenly erase something and you're just like, I didn't press anything, and it's literally just like a gesture from your finger, and it's just like, oh great, I like did not know this. Like stuff gone, oh no. But after you get past the learning curve, it's really nice. It's great to draw like directly on the screen, and like an iPad in comparison to something like a Cintiq, which is just like a giant computer monitor that you can draw directly on, is so much less expensive.
Right.
Because Cintiqs are like almost like $5,000 versus an iPad, which like depending on which one you get, mine was like $1,000. And smaller ones are like 500 ish.
Right. So it can be affordable. Like there's a range. Well, you know, we have all the artists in the house because XDMC is saying, I love this work even more knowing that there's a sister creating it, Black-tastic. And, you know, we've got Anja Africa. She's an artist. She was on our show yesterday. She's been a visual artist, a model. So she's like an artist.
Anja Africa.
He has theme music for her. And so she says, blessing family, thank you to the panelists for sharing. And, you know, Sonovia, hey there. She says, greetings to my favorite family, friends, and special guests. Speaking of special, I notice here that Coca Ford 934 says, I first saw your work on the Charming is a Verb book cover. Hey, she reached on the bookshelf. She's like, I got it right here. I do find the illustrator. It led her to your page. Love, love, love it. So I
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you have so many things happening. Like
because you work for New York Times, the New Yorker magazines, and publishing companies that were imprints for like Macmillan, Harcourt Brace, some of those publishers. What type?
But you know, on the screen now, this is a bird. The picture that the animation that's going across the screen now. This is a what's the name of the company? Say that again.
Can you hear me? Audubon?
Audubon, the Audubon Society.
Right. So this one here, and this is some of the work that you did last year as well, but this one is the Charming as a Verb book cover. You have another book cover that you showed us, Finish the Fight. We also have You Can Go Your Own Way. And like Corey was saying, this is a HarperCollins or a branch of HarperCollins. That's what company this one is done with. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
I keep coming back to this, but a company like HarperCollins and some of these other what is the pay like for those types of jobs, as opposed to if Philip Waldo Jr. said he wanted you to do some stick figures for him for his next T-shirt design?
Well, if he wants me to do stick figures, I'll do it for free. No problem. But like I found that HarperCollins pays a little bit on the higher end, and when I talked to like my agents about it, because once I started getting book covers for other places, it was sort of just like I noticed that there's a difference, and I was just wondering because I always try and ask questions because I'm curious. But HarperCollins pays around like 3,000 to 5,000 per cover. And I've actually worked with them technically 3 times. So Charming as a Verb and The Field Guide to the North American Teenager paperback were both for HarperCollins, which is super exciting. I've been able to work with the same art director and the same author twice, and now we're all really good friends, which is great.
Well, you know, Dylan Pritchett has a question here. He's asking, how much control do you have in deciding which projects that you want to do? Because agents can sometimes, you know, determine which work to suggest. So is that a concern? How's that?
So they'll always like run something by me first. They'll always be like, hey, do you think that you're available to do XYZ, whatever? And I can like turn things down if I want to. And actually very recently in the last year, we like in December, me and my agent had like a sit down, and we were just like, okay, like let's talk about, because this year was like a little bit overwhelming because I took on like 31 new projects last year, which is a little bit unprecedented for company, for Bright in general. And every single time someone looks at my schedule, they're just like, so like this is very impressive. Are you okay? And it's just like, I don't know. Am I okay? But we've had a couple of sit downs, especially because of the events that happened this year, where I was just like, I don't know how much I want to only be working on things that have like a historical nature, right? I want to work on books because right now, in terms of publishing, a lot of people are just like, oh, we want books that are focusing mainly on Black trauma. And it's like, I don't want to only work on things that are about Black people feeling terrible, right? Like history is so important to me, and it's important to tell those stories. But the thing is that those aren't the only stories that we're telling. We need to focus on Black joy and other stuff like this. So like books like Charming as a Verb and Field Guide are super important for me because it's just like, and I talked to my agent about it. I was just like, hey, if you can you find me like more projects that are like focusing on like happiness and like not just history.
Right. So you were able to direct that more so. You know, you are just so phenomenal because Philip Waldo Jr. is saying, yes, I need that challenge in my life, you know, just to level up and all of those good things. He also has nominated you, Steffi for president 2024. Stick figures are making a comeback. So, you know, I don't know, but of course, Coca-4 934 is just excited to be here today, meeting the author that she found. And of course, Corey, just so that you know, Anja Africa was really cheesing when you were singing her theme song. And Philip Waldo Jr. did ask if her hair blows backwards when you sing it, you know, when you sing that. But according to her, the world, Anja Africa, well, she says that her whole face blows back since her hair is braided down. So, you know.
So, Steffi, I have a question for you, Steffi. If for those people that are illustrators and people that are being told print is a thing of the past, or you know, there's no room for you in this field, what do you say to them?
Yeah, so we're going to wrap up with you letting us know where we stand nowadays. Like, is it okay to to be in the digital world nowadays? Because you know, Coca-4 934 saying yes, more Black joy, drawing Black trauma is heavy. And so we know that you now have a choice. You don't have to just do what they're directing you to do. But what about in this digital age? Can you tell us about that? If things are slowing down, if things are picking up, what's it look like?
So things are absolutely picking up. 100% there is absolutely a need for more Black illustrators, more Black creatives just telling their stories, regardless of what those stories are. I think that publishing absolutely is shifting. And it's not just something that was caused by like 2020. It's something that's been happening based off of not only what I've seen, but what people that have been in this industry like way longer than me have also seen. It's so important for you to get your work out there because there's always going to be somebody that like wants your work. You are always going to do something for somebody that somebody's going to connect with. So I 1000% would say absolutely go for it. If you feel called to do illustration or art, go for it. Don't let it stop you.
Right, because you have such a diverse way. You have so many directions, that you can go in, like you said, with your game development background, with your current illustrations and your understanding of tech and how to use it. David Hunt is a tech guy. He says this was an awesome show. He's just saying that because we're going to be on the show tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be straight fire. And David Hunt is going to come on and show us how to bust up shots with the piano and his vocal talent.
David says he loved the art because David is an artist himself. XDMC says, Corey, I think we should do a remix of Secret Garden for all of our fans. Steffi can illustrate the CD cover.
I'm gonna be
I don't
good
know.
to you.
Okay, so let's stop right there and
show you right.
yeah.
Secret Garden. With Anja Africa.
Well, you know, Philip Waldo Jr. says the shows this week have been phenomenal. Anja Africa is saying, Queen Steffi, thank you for representing us. Continue to stand strong. You have a great smile. I agree. So I know we said that we were going to wrap up with that question, but this is an amazing story with this book cover here. So Gwen Sanders is saying, yes, awesome. I salute you. And this is going to be a cool way to end the week with David Hunt, Philip Waldo Jr. is saying. So tell us the story of this particular book cover because, hey, Sizzle's Diary, she's saying hey to everybody watching. And so tell us about this book cover because there's so much going on, but it's related to an actual story.
So this isn't actually a book cover. Sorry, but it was
fine.
My first illustration, my first editorial illustration of like ever, and it was my actual first illustration that I did for the New York Times, which was super exciting. And they like literally went everywhere. They were using it in their marketing, and they printed it. I wasn't able to get a print copy, but the art director that hit me up for this, his name's Rodrigo Honeywell. He was just like, you know, I really love your work. And when I asked him how he found me, he was just like, I have no idea. And I was just like, okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know. In the story, it was for New York Times Travel. It was specifically focusing on traveling in 2020 with COVID-19.
Yeah, right. We're rolling. That's why we've got the mask hanging from the, you know, when I was describing this to Corey, I hadn't talked to you yet about the backstory. So I saw the mask hanging from the rearview mirror with the tree, the infamous air freshener tree. I did notice the adapter, the cell phone adapter, because we have one in our vehicle, which I found out from you later as part of the story. I didn't know what that bag of pills were on the.
She on drugs.
Yeah, I was like, that lady on drugs. What's going on? I saw the icy hot there. I saw the different the gloves, the different bags of what do you call it? Hand sanitizer, different containers. I saw the napkins. So this is related to a story. So tell us about these different items and how they tie into everything.
Just so you know, Steph, we say wrong and wrong. That's our code word.
Or C19. Yeah, we just cut it short.
Sorry. The panorama that is happening right now. You know what I mean? But this was, so the author of the story, she was talking about this trip that she took to the Catskills, and she was leaving from like New York. She was just like, I need to not be in my house anymore. But the thing is that like already for her, just in general, like she can't sit for a really long time. It like causes like a lot of like damage to her back and stuff like that. And then like on top of it being, you know, unprecedented times, she was just like, I have to prepare. So she had all these multivitamins. She had like wet wipes. She had hand sanitizers, 5 different versions. She had like the like kinetic tape. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, the tape that you use to like for like when your muscles get sore.
I saw that on her shoulder. I thought they were Band-Aids, but they looked weird. So yeah, that explains that.
Yeah, and she had like the tennis ball so that she could like roll it in between her shoulder blades.
I was wondering why that was on the seat. Remember, Corey?
I remember that one.
Yeah, remember I told you that?
Yeah, the tennis ball.
Yeah, because Karen Pino says she loves this one. This is like, it just represents today's times so much. Sizzle's Diary, you're not late at all. And Deborah Goodrich is like, she's a side comedian. So go ahead and finish explaining this to us, because this bag of pills that I thought were just like some drugs or something that she was grabbing for.
This is a picture of somebody that's leaving the Dallas Cowboys game after they leave the
stadium. So you said these were multivitamins, right? She was trying to boost her immunity.
Exactly. She had multivitamins. She had, what's that orange thing that you get, like the that you put into emergency. That's it. She had emergency.
Oh, that's with those packets.
Mm-hmm. And so I was working with a limited color palette with this one because I had 5 different projects happening at once. I had lists that was due, and then on the same day, I had something that I was doing for Netflix, actually. So I was literally just like, dying. I have to work so quickly. And so she was trying to she had her coffee, she had her gum, she had her map, her phone was dying because she had to keep it on with Siri on, which drains your battery because she didn't know how to get to where she needed to go. And so we really just had a fun time putting all these different elements into this piece to tell a story before you actually read the article.
Right. And it's so funny because I knew the story sort of before I talked to you and heard about the article. So this is phenomenal, your work. You were able to generate that just from, being able to see or hear, hear the story. So this is just amazing. Everybody is loving it. Karen says essential worker vibes. That's basically what that what that painting or what that rendition shows. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Shonda says beautiful artwork. Steffi is amazing and a superwoman taking on all of those projects, So Sonia with the Y is excited about tomorrow, Corey, because she's saying, yes, David Hunt, tomorrow I will be #1 logged on. So she says she's going to beat Philip Walthall Jr. to the stream.
I don't know, him and XDMC, they tight competition.
I know. So this has definitely been great. Stephanie said, fantastic show. Jahari, yes, thank you very much for representing Black stories and have a great day. Everybody has really enjoyed this, especially the details in the picture that you drew in is what Philip Walthall Jr. is saying. So this has just been amazing. People are chatting with each other, of course.
And this is a great way to segue into our plant-based treat, because talking about the health, the concern about health and immunity. So, Steffi, we're going to pop you backstage for a moment.
Because we always have our plant-based treat, and we give the nutritional value and the ways that you can boost your health, boost your immunity, and help heal yourself.
We'll get you to hang out so we can talk to you after the broadcast is over, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
And thank you to Dr. Linda Hayden for making this possible today.
And D Hall, so that Corey D Hall says, hey all, yes, Stephanie W, love this. Black love needs to be illustrated more. Sonia with a Y is saying congratulations to all your future endeavors. Steffi, the folks love you. This has been amazing. So we can't get you backstage because people keep coming with the love. You know what I mean? They're like more.
You said D Hall?
Yes, DEE, D Hall.
I wonder if D'Angelo Hall used to play football, professional football.
I don't know, but you guys definitely follow her. You have her information down there, and I am going to put it in the chat as well. XDMC says, you look like you're only 12. Awesome work, sister. She is a spring chicken. I know, she is a spring chicken. And then, of course, everybody's agreeing, like, yeah, you do look a little young. Jane, you woke up like that, Corey. She says, great job, Steffi. Be sure to take care of yourself. We are going to see you right after our plant-based treat. So this has been amazing. See you soon, okay?
Bye.
And now it's time for today's plant-based treat by Chef LaQuita Marie.
All right, here we go, guys. Getting you to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Taco Tuesday treats. So we are going to make a super simple taco dip. We've got our plant-based meat, the one that I made. I actually made this. We also have just a plain old jar of salsa, came right from Walmart, salsa. And also from Walmart, frozen corn. If you can get organic versions of these things, get organic versions by all means. All we're going to do is throw these 3 in a bowl together and we're done.
The onions in the salsa have antioxidants like vitamin C that fight colon, prostate, and lung and brain cancer. Tomatoes have lycopene for a healthy prostate and eyes. Jalapenos have capsaicin, which relieve pain, kill bacteria, and fight cancer. Vinegar reduces your sinus inflammation and lowers blood pressure. Serve it up with tortilla, potato, or corn chip.
Any thoughts, anybody?
Corn is a whole grain, which gives corn tortillas a high fiber value. Also, there's magnesium, potassium, other vitamins, and minerals.
Ritz and Fritos taste different. I know how.
So you guys can see which one you like it best with the Ritz versus the Fritos versus the cracker. I'm gonna bring some more Ritz in, by the way, because they're going fast.
All right.
All right. That was a very tasty taco dip that LaQuita Marie made. We enjoy that every time she makes it. And we enjoy having you here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11:15 to spend about a half an hour with us, exploring the world through the eyes of a blind guy,
His wife, LaQuita Marie.
and their life live. Don't forget to join us tomorrow as David Hunt comes forward and share his musical talents and his journey with us. He's going to sing.
He's going to sing.
He's going to sing.
I should probably just stick to the music.
And again, we're going to say thank you to Dr. Linda Bailey Hagan for making this broadcast possible today. And remember, our broadcast is supported by member support from viewers like you. So thank you very much for joining us. And to say goodbye, we always say, we out.
No, we don't.
We say, deuces.
All right, guys. Deuces.